My name is Shrenuj Gandhi and my Unity ID is SGANDHI4. This screencast is about provisioning servers. Particularly, we will look how to set up AWS EC2 instance and DigitalOcean's Droplet. Let's take a look at the scripts before we see them executing. The task here is basically to set up the server and print their IP address. For DigitalOcean, we require something called as a token, which I've saved it in the environment variable under the name DigiToken. To get the token, we go to our account. Under the API and Applications tab, we just click this button to generate a new token. We set the headers and this is the function where basically the new droplets get created, and this is the API call to get a droplet based on the droplet ID. Here I've mentioned the name as my Unity ID and the region as New York 3 with the image as Ubuntu 64-bit. At the time of creation, I save the droplet ID and I make a get droplet ID call based on the droplet ID and print the IP address. Let's take a look at the other script. For Amazon EC2 instance, we require Boto, which can be installed using the pip command. What we also need is the access key and a secret access key, which I've set up as environment variables under these names. To get the access keys, we go to the EC2 account and under security credentials, we select the third option. We also require key name and security group name. This can be set up under the Network and Security tab. Under the key pairs, we just create one. Here I'm using the one I've already created, and for this I'm using one which I've created amongst the others. What we do is once the status is ready, we print the IP address. The package.json is basically consisting of the list of dependencies for the the JavaScript file here, and the shell file here is basically the script which runs the commands like npm install and node install and the pip install to make the process automatic. Now let's see these scripts in action. I'm cloning the repository and I'll go where these scripts are present. What I have to do is just run the shell file. Here it says that you require node, npm, python and pip to be installed. It starts with the DigitalOcean server. It just tells you that make sure that token and the SSH keys are under environment variables. It runs the npm install and runs the DigitalOcean script file, and it has given us the IP address for the droplet. Now it's moved on to setting up the AWS server. It tells you to make sure that the keys are under the environment variables, and then it does a Boto 3 install. Since it's already there, it's giving me this message. Finally, it goes on executing the AWS Python script. Setting up the EC2 server takes a bit longer than the droplet. In the meanwhile, let's check whether our droplet with this IP is created or not. We go to home and refresh the page. So it has given us the information that a new droplet was created a minute ago with this IP address. Unfortunately, I'm not using a premium account and I won't be able to fast forward this. Yep, we have the EC2 instance up. We have the IP address as starting from 35.167. Let's check we have a corresponding entry on the dashboard. Yes, and it is running. So we saw how we can set up server instances using scripts. And once we have the IP address, we would now be able to SSH into them. More interestingly, we'll be using configuration management tools like Ansible to set up these servers with different environments. Thank you.